you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Can I still edit my screen while I'm screen sharing? Okay. Gonna switch. Okay, so all the way backwards. All right, so welcome to the meeting. This is gonna be our first online workshop. And then, so starting off, oh, sorry, I'm not very familiar with Zoom if you can't tell. All right, so these are your three editor-in-chiefs. Do you want to start off, Abby?
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm your editor-in-chief for design.
Andrew? He's here, right?
I don't know. He said he was gonna join.
He's here. I don't think he has audio. Okay. Anyways, I guess we'll skip him for the time being. He's the photo EIC. And then, you know me from my incessant emails and text messages. I'm Alicia, I'm the copy EIC. And then now moving on to maestros, starting off with copy. Kayla is not here right now. I think she's gonna pop in a little bit later. So basically, I was copy maestro last year, so I'll just kind of explain this. So copy team does all the writing of the yearbook. So any type of headline or main copy that you see in the book. If you've ever bought a yearbook before, I hope you know what I'm talking about. I can grab my yearbook, that would be helpful, but I'm not sure. Anyways, so copy maestros specifically, their job is to edit the things that copy and the people in copy team give them. So those would be like the form responses that you submit when you're asked by yearbook for anything from a mod response, which is going to be like 4 sentences. So for like a sports team, they'll ask you, what's your experience on the sports team, that type of stuff. So copy team is going to edit the response so that it is clear and grammatically correct while trying also to preserve the originality of the response, and then copy maestros are going to just go over those and make sure that everything meets the guidelines that it's supposed to be for a copy team. And then copy maestros also pick the headlines. So copy team will come up with possible headlines, and then copy maestros will be the ones that select the final headlines. All right, anyone have any questions? All right, moving on to photo team. Mari, do you want to talk?
Do I have to?
Is Isabel here?
No one from photo team showed up. I'm the only one here.
You're
I
the
can talk.
okay.
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Mariana. Everyone calls me Mari though. One of the photo maestros. I was one last year. And basically it's similar to copy maestro, but I guess in photo team. So photo maestro basically just we don't select all the photos, but we do approve every photo after they're edited, but we also assign them to this photo. We also assign photos to edit to photo team members, and we also handle any of like the equipment. So the cameras, the bags, the lights, everything, we handle that and oversee it. Um yeah. Oh, and then Isabel's my co-maestro. She's not here. Yeah, okay, I'm done.
Moving on to design team, Jamie.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm one of the main design maestros. The co-maestro is Stella, I don't know where she is exactly, but essentially what design team is we just, design the book, obviously. We're in charge of making sure that all the aspects are there from what's it, ACDs to to folios. Basically, we need to cover everything in the book from who's credited, from who the person we're interviewing is, from whose photo we're taking, stuff like that. We just make sure that the stuff is on there and that it follows the specific guidelines of our theme for the year. It's pretty fun, but we do need to stay, but we at in design team, we do need to be like on time for a lot of things. So it's pretty stressful, but it's also pretty fun and creative. So, you'll have fun on it.
All right, moving on to section editors. So as you can see, there are a lot of boxes that says this could be you. So in the beginning of the year, at the start of next year, we are going to have editor and Meister applications. So if you would like to apply to be any of these positions, it has an empty box. You can fill out a form and then you will be interviewed by us through EICs. It's kind of similar to your original application to yearbook interview, but it's a little bit more specified based off of what position you would like to be. So these right here, I don't know if you can see my cursor, are the explanations for each editor position. We had a lot of people who graduated the past year, so there are a lot of empty positions. So anyone who would like to apply to these and hopefully do very well in them has the opportunity to do so. So people's editor, the thing that you probably know the most about them is that they come up with the senior superlatives. So two people are in charge of that entire section. It's a section of the yearbook. And then for student life, let's see. Student life editors are in charge of a lot of things. There's also a student life section in the yearbook. It's two people as well. And then they kind of similar to people's, they come up with all the forms and things like that. And what is one thing about student life that people would know?
Oh, homecoming, senior, or no, I'm sorry, homecoming, Halloween, all those like holidays. That's what student life covers.
Okay. Yeah. And then moving on to academics. So all of the academic sections, the main copies for the academic section, any teams and stuff like that, that's going to be under the academics position. And then sports, things like that. And so basically, all of the sports main copies and the photos and things like that, those are kind of going to be in charge of by sports. Why is this not working? Okay. Anyways, so these are a little bit more of miscellaneous editor positions. They aren't directly related with the actual production of the book. Instead, they're more related to yearbook as a class or as a team. So video editor creates videos for our YouTube page. And basically for Valentine's Day, I remember they did kind of like a montage for that. And then online editor, they post on the Instagram. Abby was the online editor last year. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so online editor is basically like responsible for yearbook's presence and like image online. So like you're going to be responsible for like, yearbook's website, their link tree, and like promoting and like updating what we do and like deadlines for the school community. And also you're going to be answering DMs on the Instagram as well.
And then moving on to the business editor, if you've ever been on an academic team before or kind of like a club and that sort, every team has an end of the year banquet. So the business editor is in charge of any fundraisers so that we have enough money to pay for banquet. Last year, our banquet was at the Odyssey. So that's just kind of making sure that we send it off.
Really good answer.
And stuff like
Look at
that. Kayla, I can hear you. And then finally, the marketing editor, they work with the business editor to kind of similar, if you've seen any of the posters, that's what marketing editor is in charge of. So they just kind of help promote with the fundraisers and then applications to yearbook and things like that. And then next we have the clubs editor. This got changed to team photos last year, which was Kayla's editor position. So, Kayla, do you want to talk about that? I can do it, I guess. So the club's editor is basically where they send out a lot of forms and then also in charge of the photos for any team with, if you bought a yearbook in prior years, you can see that all of the clubs and all the academic teams, they all have their own page with their team photos. So that's what clubs/team photos would be in charge of. And then grad ads. So grad ads are for seniors where their families can purchase in the back of the yearbook. There are spaces where they can purchase a grad ad where it talks about a letter that the parents and the family wants to send to the graduating senior. And these are all designed in-house. So a person who does this is going to have to be on design team. And then they work with the parents and communicate in order to make the ad what the parents would like it to be. And then index page is mostly about the people in the book. So anyone who's mentioned in the book by name, in the back, they're gonna see what exact page they were on. So use a program specifically through our yearbook program, and then it creates the name and then what pages they are on, and then you have to see and double check to make sure it's correct. Stella was the index editor last year, so that's that. I'm not sure if she's here right now. And then Humans of Granada, I was Humans of Granada editor in my first year of yearbook. So Humans of Granada is also what you've heard the design maestro call an ACD. So these are going to be those tiny little photos at the top of every yearbook page where it answers the question for the section. So it's like one sentence each, and there are a lot of them, and you also have to make sure they don't double up with mods and things of that nature. So it's just a lot of practice and trying to be organized. It's kind of like a mini version of the people section, in my mind at least. All right, and then lastly, we have staffers. So these are people who are dedicated to their team, and then they also help out editors when they need any assistance. And then, so for more info about editor positions, there's this link. It's kind of like a couple sentences about each editor position, and then there is this thing that we do called editor letters. So any previous editor, they're going to write a letter to the next year, whoever that's going to be. And it's kind of to help guide them throughout the year. This is a link for prior year's editor letters. So if you're interested in a specific editor position, this will kind of help you see what you would be getting yourself into and what exactly their responsibilities are. All right. And then, so in class, we have a Spotify playlist that is played. So here's a link to add to the playlist. And then make sure to keep all of the songs clean as they'll be played during class time in front of our teachers and in front of other yearbookers. So just keep that in mind. And then on your acceptance into yearbook slip, you should have seen that there was a QR code or a link to fill out a contact information form. So if you haven't filled that out already, here's the link to complete the form. And then once you complete the form, you have to add everyone's phone numbers into your phone to make sure that you have access and ability to contact them if necessary. So here is all of the submissions. And then in the beginning of the year, there's going to be a phone number quiz. So make sure you have everyone's contact info inside of your phone. As a reminder, you have 2 summer assignments. I posted the info links in GroupMe, but just in case you need a refresher or in case you don't feel like scrolling up that far, here are the 2 links. And then both of them are going to be due Sunday, August 4th. This is going to be your first grade of the year, so make sure to complete it. And then once you're finished with your summer assignments, submit it into this Google Drive folder. Just create a new folder with your name as a title and then insert the PDFs into your folder. Make sure to change the edit access of your individual folder to Granada Hills Charter. we kind of had the same issues with some people who created folders to submit with their application to yearbook folder, so just make sure you change that at access so we can see it and grade you appropriately. And then a lot of you guys had some ideas that you pitched um, during your interview process when you first got into Yearbook. So if you want a chance to get some consideration from the AICs about your theme ideas or anything at all, here's a link to a form. You don't have to fill out this form, it's entirely optional, but just in case you want to add something to this year's theme while it's still under consideration, there's your opportunity. All right, so this was our first workshop of the year. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. And then there's going to be an in-person workshop in July. If anyone has any questions, ask them now. Questions, comments? No?
People in the chat are asking where they can get the link to the slideshow.
I will give the link in the GroupMe after after the meeting. And then since there were a lot of links in the slideshow, here's a link directory for everything. I also included an additional one that was not in the rest of the slides. So this one is going to be from the editor letters for the most recent year. Anything else? All right. If you guys don't have any questions or anything like that, you guys are free to go. Keep an eye out for when the in-person meeting is going to be sometime in July, but we're not sure of the exact date yet. All right. Bye, y'all.